Check, check. What's up? What's going on? Hold on, let's try that one more time. Man, I'm over here trying to clear my throat. It's been a long weekend, but one more time. Check, check. What up, y'all? It's young Charlie Hustle, a.k.a. Charles Handy out here, a.k.a. Dance Hustle. Out here on the ones and twos, and we are in the Good News Radio building, and this is the relationship game. Tonight, I might be solo dolo, but I think Detroit is coming in the building soon. But first and foremost, we gotta show some love for the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Raiders doing their thing. Looking like that 2-3-2 team, you know. We over here, you know what I'm saying, look like we about to do some things in the AFC West. Especially with the Chargers looking kind of crazy. Hopefully, you know, right now as we speak, the Chiefs is looking like they might take an L, which will help us out tremendously. But we still gotta take care of business against them anyway. But anywho, tonight. So if you click on the link, you will probably see like this amazing quote at the beginning, and it's the show. We kind of started off with a title. And it was basically a quote from Ray Dalio. I really rock with the cat, and he has a lot of amazing quotes. I'm reading his book Pinciples, because my cousin, my beloved cousin, shout out to him, Jamil Davis. He just gave me a book recommendation, so I've been reading it and telling everybody I could, you know, see in the world to read it too, because I think it's been helping me kind of, you know, progress in life. So today's quote that we're going to kind of bounce off some ideas, that's a couple of them, but the first one that I went with the title is pain, and it's the plus sign, pain plus reflection equals progress. You know, I love quotes. I love even simple quotes, you know, because, you know, me reading 10 paragraphs, it's hard to retain, it's hard for me to get through. But, you know, shoot, 3 words. Hey, I'm in the building, baby. But yeah, so give it up to him for that quote. But I look at that and I'm like, pain plus reflection equals progress. And obviously, you know, in this building, in this physical building we're in, which is, you know, the Good News Radio, I'm looking at our dear brother, a painting of our dear brother Nipsey Hussle, and he says a marathon continues, and that's his way of like saying that obviously like there is gonna be ups and downs as you go onto the road to get to the mountaintop or to wherever it is that you're trying to go. That's the pain, and so you're gonna have that exists on the way to, as you go up and you rise. There's going to be disappointments. There's going to be times where you want to give up. But along with that, you got to reflect and you got to look at to how to proceed or how to get better, how to move better, and also how you got to have reflection. You got to be honest. You got to have transparency. Even with yourself, you got to be transparent and authentic and true to like why you didn't succeed or how you could succeed the next go around. And when you add those two together, then you're gonna progress. You're gonna move forward. And even if it's like an inch, or even if it's a step, even if it's just like, you know, forward progress, like we talking about football, just that forward progress. Maybe you didn't, you know what I'm saying, get the first down, but you got closer to the first down this next time that you called to play. So that is how you progress in this field, in any field. And in this field of like entertainment or any field that you like looking to progress in, you gotta have some type of progress. So you gotta have proper reflection. So shout out to Ray Dalio. You know, this weekend it's been blessed. Shout out to my kids, my beautiful black children, my black wife. You know what I'm saying? We've been having a whole black weekend. But we have been though. But it's been blessed. You know what I'm saying? With my son and my daughter, they both amaze me and continue to impress me. And my wife and I, we just sit back and just laugh to ourselves as to how impressed we are with our two kids. So shout out to them, because hold up, they need a hand clap. My son, let's start with my youngest daughter, who is amazing me every day with her dance and acting skills, and she just is doing African dance and just really, really impressing me. And I'm just amazed at what she learns and her imagination and her reading. So shout out to her. And my son is impressing us every day with his soccer skills and his determination. He was out here just looking like a little Pele or something. And I'm like, man, this kid is like amazing. Even if he wasn't my son, I would just be like amazed at his like skills and just determined to win. Like that is something I love to see in sports. I mean, I love to see that, but he has like the eye of the tiger at like a young age, and it's such a trip to see, because it's like your kid, you know. So it's like you don't want to be too hyped, because then you know, they trying to, you know, they might say I'm doggone what's his name? Shout out to the Ball family or whatever. You know, as much antics as the Pops has, that people kind of, you know what I'm saying, see, not Lonzo, but yeah, shout out to the Ball family. But as much antics as that people might put on him, I'll be honest with you, it's like the reality is he got he has three sons that play basketball. Two sons made it to college playing at UCLA, and then one is overseas playing, and then two are probably going to end up in the NBA. One was the second overall draft pick. So it's like, as much as you want to kind of say, oh, he's doing too much, it's like nobody knows the feeling of like having, you know, a kid from nothing. You know, you go from nothing to like something, and it's like, it's a trip. So not to say that anybody, you know, people over the top, maybe some people are too like, low profile when they have these superstar kids. But I think sometimes the antics kind of help raise the profile to some degree of like players that aren't necessarily getting noticed. So it's just all like a method to the madness. All that to say is, like, I know one thing. If you saw how he was showing out with his son making it to the league, man, I just got to say, y'all ain't seen nothing yet with my son. I'm about to put on a whole new show. Now, I can't lie though. I wouldn't do too much, but it would be the best time of my life to see my little kids, my children actually do their thing. It's just a joy. So yeah, that was my weekend. You know, I did an edit. Did some dope content this weekend. I got in the booth, and I started chopping. Right, I started chopping up with Dalio. Not Ray Dalio. I'm looking at the board. I edited a recap for my man Old School Gree. Shout out to Old School Gree. You know, Greg Lewis. He had his birthday weekend. He actually still out there turning up, you know, for his birthday. And he, you know, I did a recap video for his birthday, and it was actually pretty cool. You know, a lot of cool people. His whole family came out, and we went to this dope speakeasy downtown. And you know, I'm pretty. It's always nice to get out the house, listen to some dope music. It was a lot of Chicago players in the house, and they definitely showed up and showed out. You know what I'm saying? And it was good music and good vibes and good drinks, and it was just like it was always it's good to see like dope people just celebrate. You know what I'm saying? And that was my weekend. Watched some football with the fam and kind of messed around in my garden a little bit. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like to I'm trying to get my green thumb skills up, but my green thumb is I'm not an OG Mac just yet at that, but you know what I'm saying? I kind of RIP to my 2 plants that I basically overwatered. You know what I'm saying? RIP to y'all. You know, hope y'all in plant heaven, doing y'all thing, and y'all know that it was all love, and I overwatered you guys out of lack of experience. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. You know, I never really had no plants like that, and I don't know, man. It hurts. It hurts when you lose your plants, man. You know, you're out here just trying to make the world a better place. And I'm traumatized, but I'm still, like, as they say, the marathon continues. I'm going to get some more plants. I'm a doggone, you know, just get them the proper soil. But I'm out here doing it all, though. I'm out here doggone composting, you know what I'm saying? Putting my food in the back, churning it up, putting water in there. I'm really out here trying to, you know, just do my part. You know what I'm saying? At some point, I'm going to get some people that's really like in the game as far as the compost and regenerating the earth and all that stuff. It's this organization called Kiss the Ground. Shout out to Jessica, Finn, Rylan, you know, the whole crew, gang. They out here saving the world, you know what I'm saying, some Captain Planet type stuff with the whole, just putting carbon back into the soil. And they're talking about it, and they got an organization called Kiss the Ground, and it's one of the best things that you can do to heal the planet and to get the planet back to where we need it to be, so we can all be all copacetic. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you do have a spot to throw your carbon products back into the planet and churn them up, I would say make sure you compost. Recycle, obviously, you know what I'm saying? That's just like kind of just the big thing. But the big thing is to also compost. You know, if you're really trying to save the earth, if you knew better, you do better. All right. So since we're on this vibe of young Ray Dalio, one of my inspirations, because Lord knows I need some inspiration. Lord knows I need people that's in my life that's going to, you know, tell me something about what I'm doing and how I could do it better. So I say that, he talks about the ego. So this is a quote from his Principles book, the one I've been reading. One of these days I'm going to have him on here. We're going to talk some real talk in person. So he says it's far more common for people to allow It's far more common for people to allow ego to stand in the way of learning. You know, and that's some real talk, because we all have egos, you know, and our ego, and confronting that ego is a very, very confronting thing, you know, and our egos will protect itself. So we got a lot of defense mechanisms in place to it's a lot of defense mechanisms when the ego gets confronted, and it's not one of those things that's easily penetrated, because some people's egos are stronger than others, and some people are more dialed into the ego that can just kind of step back and consume what's being said, and you know, in a positive way. But a lot of times that ego is like, you know, you're getting some real talk that will allow you to be in a better place, be in a educational place, or be in a humble place, or you might be getting some free game, or some free game, or something that's like somebody telling you, hey man, I will move this way, you know, because this is a better move. But your ego might not allow you to hear that, or not allow you to hear that in that way, because when you have too much of an ego, the ego's gonna tell you anything to protect itself, to make you seem like you're right in the situation, or that what you're doing or the way you're doing it is the right way to do it or the best way to do it, and that it doesn't allow you to see the other person or learn the new way of doing something. And that's something that we all experience on different levels throughout as we go through this life. The ego will definitely tell you, hey, what does he know? Who is he? I always do it like that. And that's not necessarily that's definitely not gonna get you where you want to go. But look, it's the relationship game, so I can't just be all about different life principles. So I gotta let's talk about like the basics, right? So this dude is actually talking about relationships in this quote. Having the basics, a good bed of sleep. So having the basics, a good bed to sleep in, good relationships, good food, and good sex is the most important. And those things don't get much better when you have a lot of money, or worse when you have less. And the people one meets at the top aren't necessarily more special to those that you meet at the bottom or in between. So that's Ray Dalio, and that's in his Principles book. I actually like that chapter. And so to me, he's like really breaking down the keys, because a lot of times we go through life, right? Hold on one second. Give it up for my reading. I'm a little bit hooked on phonics. So my reading don't be like fluid. But, it's funny. I'll say I'm reading this book. I'm actually listening to it on audiobook. I ain't even going to front, right? Because my ego wanted to tell you I'm reading a book, and then people are going to think I'm super smart, whatever. But, listening to things, that's why I love podcasts, and that's why I love radio, because I've loved the ability to actually consume knowledge through like airwaves and sonic waves or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's the way I consume. So that's why I edit, just to give y'all a secret to my whatever. So anyways, yeah, reading is like, I'll be reading, I'll be like, what the hell? Then I gotta go back. Like, what did I just say? Let me read it again. Next thing I know, I'm 10 hours and it's been 5 pages, but might be a little over exaggeration. But anywho, so when you have the basics in life, and you got a good bed, he said a good bed, which is very important. That's a key, because he didn't just say a bed, he said a good bed. And that's important too, because right now we looking for a new bed. So somebody tap in with me and give me some kind of code or some kind of savings code. I need a doggone good bed. Sometime I wake up and my back be hurting. I'd be like, damn, I need a good bed. But I love my bed, but I definitely could use an upgrade. We could use an upgrade and some good pillows. Don't sleep on a good pillow. Don't sleep, right? So in a good relationships, obviously good relationships are super duper important. You know what I'm saying? Because when you got great relationships with people, that will help you progress in life. That'll help you have like different mentors, different people to bounce ideas off of. Good food, obviously, all the good stuff, good sex. I mean, those things really kind of go without having to explain too much. And then he says, most importantly, those things don't get much better when you have a lot of money, or not much worse when you have less. So if you have a bunch of money, say you got a gang of money, like, oh my God, I got so much money, I don't even know what to do with it. And you got good bed, good sex, good relationships, whatever. It's not like, oh my God, I got so much money and all these things are all good. So now I feel like I'm Super Mario with the star, and I'm just living life the best way I ever imagined, right? You might hit those highs at certain points. But the reality is if you were having a good bed, good sex, good relationships, and if you had less money, but all those other things were clicking, it wouldn't be like you would be like, oh my God, I don't have, like, you know, I can't get the G coupe, I can only get the wagon or whatever, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a little bit less money, oh, you know what I'm saying, I can't go to whatever, I can only afford to go to the museum that's on a free night, I can't go on the special exhibit after party dinner, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you're just like, all right, cool, I'm good, like, I'm having fun, I'm with my people, we might have to parking lot pimp it every once in a while, or we might have to pregame at the crib because we can't afford to buy a bottle, whatever, but you still are having a good quality life, whether you have a bunch of money or you don't have a bunch of money. If you have certain good things happening around you that some people kind of see like, dang, if I have more money, this will be like 10 times better. That's not necessarily the case. That, though, the money part is just gonna kind of allow you maybe to do it more frequently or do things in that nature more frequently or whatever. But behind the velvet ropes, it ain't that much different than being in a parking lot tailgating with your people before a game. Y'all talking y'all shit, y'all shooting the shit, you drinking whatever your choice beverage, you smoking on whatever y'all felt like smoking at the time, and y'all just, you catching each other vibes. Now, if you had a bunch of money, you might be in the box doing that or whatever, box suites, but it'll still be the same thing, still be similar jokes, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's something that we learn as we go through life, and so yeah, so that quote is a dope example of like what people experience, and also some people that experience FOMO. That's also something that we talk about a lot, is people experience FOMO because they see, okay, at the top, I wish I was there. Or you see somebody on Instagram and they just look like they just living their best life. The reality is you might have did something that same weekend, just waking up, cooking some pancakes that you got your enjoyment out of, but it wasn't necessarily Instagram worthy to you, so you didn't post it. But somebody could look at you cooking pancakes in your drawers, and you just take a picture of your pancakes like, yeah, this is my best life, I'm cooking pancakes, and people like, oh wow, I wish you would have told me that you was cooking pancakes today, I would have came over, blah blah blah, right? But that everybody could get FOMO for anything. You never can predict, or I don't know, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Just tell me if I'm rambling. So what I want you to do is get in the comments section and call in and tell me, yo, this cat is talking about some stuff that I am not following. So since I've been on my tangent, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on another Ray Dalio quote. That way I could feel like I'm saying something that is at least making sense. Hold up, I'm trying to tap in with my trying to tap into going on Facebook Live. So maybe that will help me get some comments and questions from people when I do a quote. Uno momento per favore for my Facebook. Yada da. Hold up. There we go. And I think we are good. Hey, cool. All right, no graphics. All right, so what's the next quote that I'm gonna go with? All right, so let's see from the way Ray Dalio. Let's say principles, life, and work. Principles, life, and work quote. Listening to uninformed people is worse than having no answers at all. All right, so that definitely makes sense. You know, you don't want to listen to uninformed people. So what's an example of like an uninformed person? I guess somebody that's not in their field of work, listening to somebody that is just a homie, not necessarily somebody that is got that specific expertise in the area that you're trying to accomplish your goals in. I definitely could see how that could definitely take you further away from what you're actually trying to accomplish. Let's see. It says, this another Ray Dalio quote. It says, truth, more precisely an accurate understanding of reality, is the essential foundation of producing good outcomes. Ooh, I love that quote. Hold up. Let me see if I can give a hand clap for that quote. Boom. You see? Hey. That's good. All right, cut it off. Yeah. So I think that, that's definitely essential to the foundation. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have truth. You gotta have that true kind of love. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that truth. If you don't have that truth, then you're not really getting anywhere. You got to have an understanding of the reality too. He said, get an understanding of reality. So what we call that is the what is so in the situation. You know, like right now, for example, all truth being told, y'all might be hearing my voice. You might be tired of it at this point because I'm just talking. You know what I mean? I got a host, right? A co-host. Shout out to the co-host, Ray, not Ray, but Detroit. Right now it's 8:30. You know what I mean? The homie is not here. You know what I'm saying? So haven't got a text, haven't got a call. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, oh, where's my bro? Nowhere, crickets, right? You know what I'm saying? But that's the truth. And then to understand that, to how to get to a better place, we gotta have like a transparent conversation about like where we're gonna go and how we're gonna get to where we're trying to go and how we learn, right? So you gotta learn from the past. But the thing is, as Ray says, he'll say, Ray Dalio, he says, it is far more common for people to allow ego, right, to stand in the way of learning. So if you have to learn, how can you learn? What's the best way to learn? The best ways to learn is to understand, to say the truth. But he says more precisely have an accurate understanding of the reality, and our highlighted reality is to have a accurate understanding of the reality. That's the essential foundation of producing good outcomes. What up? The man himself. Look, I'm out here reading quotes and I'm out here talking about you, and he pulled up. I'm happy about that. So right now, the reality that is 8:32, right? 8:32 pulled up on us, and so when we want to get to a better place about where we're gonna go from here, we're gonna have a conversation that's gonna be about, hey, what are we doing? Where are we trying to go? How are we trying to get there? You know what I'm saying? Hold up, let me get your mic on. What's one? 1, 2, 3. You on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Hey, young Detroit in the building. So look, I was over here. You wasn't listening to me on the way, were you?
No, I was rushing.
Yeah. So I was over here talking about Ray Dalio. So today, we basically I just been kind of riffing a little bit, you know what I'm saying, going off of different quotes that he has. So the first quote, which is the title of this, is pain plus reflection equals progress, right?
Right.
So we going through that. And I said, I'm just kind of scrolling, trying to go through different quotes of his, and
I like that.
Yeah, and then so that was a dope quote. He's a real dope dude. I told him I've been listening to his book because I actually don't. It's always easier for me to listen to books on the road or whatever, right? So anyway, so truth, right? It's another quote, Ray Dalio, Principles. So the quote is, truth, more precisely an accurate understanding of reality, is the essential foundation for producing good outcomes. I know I kind of stumbled, but
facts.
Yeah, and the other quote that I'm bouncing to is, it is far more common for people to allow ego to stand in the way of learning. So just going through some quotes and saying my experience around those quotes, and then to bring it full circle, I was like, hey, the truth, reality, and I was telling them, like, hey, it's 8:30, ain't heard from Detroit, wondering what he's gonna do, where he is. So we're gonna have a conversation, and we're gonna try to get to a better place, and we gotta make sure that we have to deal with the reality. And then you have to understand the reality, and then you go from that to the learning. You know what I'm saying? And it's painful to go to that process, but if you try to go to, you gotta pain plus reflection equals progress, and that's how it's a formula. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just skip one step or out the other. So, yeah, man, I've been talking for like half an hour plus. So, Detroit, you got the floor, man. What you got to say, man? What's the word for today?
In regards to
just anything, man. Just talk.
I don't ever think I would ever hear you say that. But no. And my apologies to the radio world out there, for everybody who's listening. I had to go retrieve my wallet. But I had to go from Downey to El Segundo. Wait.
You lost your wallet in El Segundo?
No, I lost it. I lost my wallet. I was here. Somebody picked it up.
That's a Tribe Called Quest. You left your wallet.
Yeah. But anyway, nonetheless, going back to the first one, which I think you said, pain plus reflection equals progress. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I think that one's, perfectly stated, in so many ways. We mostly see it doing working out, especially men. You know what I'm saying? You work out. Well, people period that work out, but you work out, you grind, you work out, and then you look up and you lost weight, or you tone, or you just either look different or you guaranteed to feel different after you've been working out consistently for something or whatever. But during that workout, when you got to get up to go, that shit sucks. It hurts to get up in the morning, or whenever you got to go after work, before work, whatever, on your break, however you get it in. Then once you get in the gym, all that weight burns. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's running long distance or running, whatever the distance is that you got to run that you're not accustomed to, whatever is pressing the amount of weight that you got to do that you're not used to, it burns until you can do more of it. But when you do more of it, it burns even worse, right? And then you look up and you're like, dang, I've been putting in work because I'm stronger, I'm bigger, I'm better, forward. And so now when you look back over, if you've been working out for 2 months straight, you know what I'm saying, now you understand that you're in a better place based on your reflection from seeing how far you've come. It almost reminds you of reading a journal, you know what I'm saying, or reading lyrics or anything that you've written.
Yeah, and foresight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, coming from a place, especially of heartbreak or, loneliness or despair, you know what I'm saying, when it's like, dang, you might write something in that time you feel like it seemed like you were never going to get out of it, and that's why, dealing with people that, if I've ever dealt with anybody that's suicidal or had those thoughts, it's always just one more day, at least. Always go one more day. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on living. I don't care what you do, just keep on living. because you're able to reflect and grow, because most of us don't ever think we'll get past it. And so, and it reminds me of something that Nip said. He's like, if you ever feel like you're too busy, then you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of rivals that to me. You know what I'm saying? If you putting in a lot of work and you getting and you're reflecting on your pain, you know what I'm saying? Eventually you're gonna learn from that. You're gonna know what not to do. You know what I'm saying? In those situations. I got
another quote I want to read. I was kind of riffing on the quote, and then I feel like you might be able to kind of riff on it as well. And basically the quote, shout out to Ray Dalio, Principles, Life and Work. He says that having the basics, a good bed to sleep in, good relationships, good food, and good sex is most important. And those things don't get much better when you have a lot of money, or worse when you have less. And the people who meet at the people who you meet at the top aren't necessarily more special than those meetings at the bottom or in between.
Of course. Think of celebrities in the life that they live, right? And for them, those things that you just named are essential, because they're people too, right? So anybody with wealth that know about it, that knows who they are, any type of celebrity, those things get robbed of them in its truest form because it's not genuine, or they can't have it because they don't know if it's genuine. Case in point, they name sex, food, and what else?
A good bed to sleep in.
Right. Okay.
Or good relationships, good food, good sex, and a good bed to sleep in.
Okay, so the bed they got covered. You know what I'm saying? But the other three, if you're rich and I meet you, you know what I'm saying? You don't. Well, not me. Your wife. You know what I'm saying? But a girl, right? You're rich. You're big time talk show radio host, and girl walks up to you and. Let's use me because you got a wife,
bro. You confusing the hell out of me.
I'm sorry, but let's just use me. Let's just use me because
your wife. No,
yeah. So if that happens to me and somebody approaches me and they want to meet me, it's a lot harder for me to understand where they're coming from. So I might meet somebody at the top, but that could be just a business situation. And if I meet somebody at the bottom, I don't know if it's not a just business situation. So I never trust it. So I either do it at a distance or don't do it at all. So a lot of people that would like to go out and have sex and meet people, they don't get to do it. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time Beyonce closed down Target because it's one of her favorite stores. She just wanted to go in there and shop, right? Yeah. And think about how your life would be if you couldn't just go into Target. And to me, the best part about Target are the people there. You know what I'm saying? The things that you see. So did she get the real experience of being able to go?
Yeah, I think Michael Jackson did that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, so they're robbed of their experience.
Shout out to the Colts. The Chiefs just lost.
Amen. Yeah, I saw. It was 16-10 when I was coming in here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I had Hilton too, so I got to check his stats. He probably was a pedestrian. But when you're robbed of those things, those are the essentials to life. But having more, so you already know if you don't have the means. Kanye said not having money is not everything, but not having it is. You know what I'm saying? So now you can't provide or buy or be attractive to, collect those things. And when you have too much of it, you can buy those things, but they aren't as genuine as they come as for those.
Yeah, they said like about you cap out as far as like they said money doesn't necessarily buy happiness, but they say you pretty much cap out per family at like maybe like 150. Mm-hmm. Essentially, like if you as a household bring in like 150, you pretty much have like a certain quality of life in this country, especially like if you move to like a rural area or whatever, where you like in the middle of Oklahoma, you balling out of control. And so pretty much at that point it's like somewhere around 150. Once you hit that mark, as far as like money providing happiness at that point, that's just like you could have 100,000 more a year, and you got maybe 200,000 more, and that's still not necessarily going to bring you more happiness. On top of that, it'll probably take away from the time that you, like you said, oh, cool, I made 100,000 more. I had
But
150, but now I took on something else, and that gave me another 100.
But that affected your relationship.
Yeah, so now
you couldn't meet people. Because you couldn't meet people, you couldn't have sex. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you maybe even having sex, but now you got the basics are all down. Downhill.
But they're screwed. They're screwed with. Remember, I used to tell Akila all the time, life is about feelings, right? And we have to feel adequate. We have to feel love. We have to feel just in general appropriate to what's going on around us. Like, am I where I'm supposed to be in comparison to where I want to be and what everybody else is doing that's like me, yada, yada, yada. And so if you're making so much money but you're not getting no love, then the money doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we see people committing suicide that are rich, and people smiling really hard that's broke. You know what I'm saying? I remember I seen the happiest homeless guy ever one day, and I just couldn't help but think, like, wow, like, this dude's homeless, but his spirit is amazing. So whatever he's happy for, and he was really just happy just to be alive. You know what I'm saying? And when I asked him, because I needed to tell him, like, why are you so happy? Yeah. Man, I'm just happy to be alive. You only knew where I came from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm managing. You know what I'm saying? It could be a lot worse. A lot of my partners are gone. You know what I'm saying? Or living, but they're not really living. And that was deep for him to say, because I'm like, you're homeless. How much living could you be doing? But it's all relative. It's about feelings. You know what I'm saying? So whereas to where you could be making 150K and you got to do make 150 million, but because he got to do so many pressures and all this or whatever, he never gets time to himself.
His kids probably don't like him.
He's like, man, screw this. After a while, you know what I'm saying? You make 150K, you still living like you him. You know what I'm saying? Just down in your means, and you get time for everybody, and you get to go to Target. You get your fantasy football. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all relevant.
I definitely had that experience. Me and my wife, we went out to so we had this nice our honeymoon, right? Mm-hmm. So we went to our honeymoon, and me being tall and at the time, at least I was in shape. You got in shape for the wedding. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, people out there in Mexico, they was calling me Charles Bryant, right? They thought I was like people there at the place. We was in this really nice, like we was in the premium part of this resort. You know what I'm saying? So people there kind of just was assuming that I was, because we were young and black, that I was like an athlete or somebody, right? Mm-hmm. So it was like kind of like, and I'm tall, so people, obviously people think like, well, who is this guy? Like, and so I'm like, dang, I was like, what if I was famous? You know what I'm saying? And I'm so right now, what if I was this tier of fame, basically, or tier or whatever? Mm-hmm. So I'm famous enough to go on a nice vacation, but I'm still in it with everybody else. Meaning I'm not off on my I'm not off on a private island. So I'm just, so we might be off on our little rendezvous, but the rendezvous is going to be including other people. And then that would be like something I'm like, wow, that's an interesting dynamic of like, all right, you got a little money, you got a little fame, but you still kind of in the shit with everybody else. Mm-hmm. So is that like, does that take away from your ego? Do you feel like now I gotta always be on, like I'm on vacation, you know what I'm saying? So what if I was famous and I don't want to take a picture with you, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm cooler right now, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely know but there are people that are out here that got a little fame, got a little notoriety, but they might have a little bit of change, but they don't have enough to really just be off on their own wiggle. So next thing you know, they still like, they
still budgeting.
Yeah, they still they balling on a budget. Yeah, balling on a budget. And is that fun? Is that take away from your happiness? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it can, but it's life, And I remember maybe last year. In a peculiar place for me mentally, where I wasn't happy all the time, and I went back and took a psych class, and my teacher noticed it, and she was like, when you talk, she was like, when you talk, I listen, and the kids listen, but your demeanor doesn't follow what you say. I would think you'd be a lot happier knowing what you know. And I'm like, oh, it's just this horrible time in my life. Whatever. And this nigga Charles always bringing it on my back. Ooh,
yeah, right.
Nah. But And she was like, yeah, just listen to this. And she sent me like just these random motivational speeches. She just listened to one a day. And she was like, you write on it, I'll tell you whatever at the end of the year. I'm like, all right. So because I thought I had to write on it, I listened to him every day. Now at the end of the year, she actually never really graded him. She didn't really care. She's like, I just need you to listen to him. She's like, but I noticed since you was listening to him, your demeanor has changed.
Yeah.
So which means your outlook has changed. So it really, now my situation, my life circumstance hadn't really changed much, but how I viewed it changed. It's almost like if you got 50 grand, you know what I'm saying, how do you feel in the bank? If you got 50 grand in the bank right now, how do you feel? Good or bad?
I feel great.
Right. Now, if you had 100 grand and now you got 50 grand, how do you feel?
You said if you
had 100 grand,
I got you. Yeah,
but now you got 50
yeah,
grand.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do you feel?
Shoot. Then where's the 50 grand? Did it just
bills.
Gone? It's gone forever.
It's gone. Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, I probably feel a little worse. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And so she's like, it just depends on how you look at it, and it's really, it changes real quick because even in that scenario, if the next day, if you mad about the 50 grand, but then the next day you went out and you earned 10 grand, now your morale's up. You know what I'm saying? Because you're looking at it like, okay, I just earned 10 grand. Put that away. I can go earn another 10 grand and whatever. But the arrow's pointing up. It's kind of like the stock market. The arrow's pointing up. Yeah. It just depends on what your most recent thing is. And so for some people that are rich, it's just really, or not rich, but whatever place they're in, it's just all relative, And for some people, it doesn't matter where they are in life if they're egotistical. If somebody's always there to stroke their ego, they could really be in a down place. But as long as they got somebody there feeding that ego, no matter. They could be in a good place.
Hey, Detroit, we got to switch gears while we got the chance. We got like 10 minutes left. We got to talk about this, right? And shout out to the conversation we just had. That was really dope. And I was having it by myself, but I'm glad you pulled up on me because I was like, it's always good to have somebody to kind of go back and forth with, right?
Well, I told you I was going to make it. I just told you I didn't know when. I told you it was coming from far.
Yeah. So let's see. So something that's tragic that's just keeps even getting more tragic as the time goes on. I want to say R.I.P. to the brother Joshua Brown, who was the key witness in this Amber Geiger case. She's the police officer, the Dallas police officer that killed the brother.
Bowman, whatever his name, something. What do you mean the key? What do you mean?
So let's see. He's an unarmed black man. Both them Gene.
Yeah, I know.
So so let me just but for people that don't know, okay. So he was in his apartment eating ice cream, and this officer that was coming home from work or from the bar, basically, Amber Geiger comes in his house and shoots him, thinking that she was in her apartment allegedly. So the brother got killed. She just got charged with murder. She got charged with murder. She got 10 years, sentenced to 10 years in prison. It went viral because the brother, the bailiff was like rubbing her hair. The brother of the victim like wanted to hug her, and then the judge hugged her. It was a black judge. All that to say is, just yesterday, the key witness. Look at this. Look at the computer screen. So that's this brother right here. He's a key witness. Joshua Brown. He's 28 years old. He was 28 years old. He's over here testifying. He had a Dragon Ball Z shirt on. You know what I'm saying? He had the high top fade, and he was just basically just a key witness in the case. Like, just saying like, hey, I was at the apartment, whatever. I live in that complex, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, he was 28 years old, and he got gunned down by some silver SUV at his at an apartment complex, maybe the same one or somewhere closer, just yesterday.
When I was reading something earlier, like it said witnessing case, but I couldn't get back to it because it was on Yahoo and it was flashing. And when I tried to go back to it, I couldn't find it, but I started finding a whole bunch of stuff from the other stuff. And I wasn't sure. I thought it said something like that, but I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
so
that's too weird. Yeah.
I just left it alone. Like, nah. You know what I'm saying?
People is posting about this. It's extremely concerning. This case has always been weird. it's always had a weird feeling around it. Just like what the hell is? How do you end up in? How do you go into somebody else's apartment and shoot them because you were scared for your life? You know what I'm saying? That's weird. Then she gets sentenced to murder. I mean, she gets.
Well, did you read about some of the texts that she had sent?
She sent a lot of she sent text that was. Then I guess she was allegedly texting this guy she's having her partner she's having an affair with. All that, okay, she sent some racial text, and mind you, the boyfriend actually killed another black person that before, another unarmed black person or whatever. So yeah, this thing, and then now this brother dies in a drive-by, quote unquote, I'm using air quotes, but drive-by shooting days after he testified. So I'm like,
well, no, this is a year later, right?
After he testifies, I'm saying
because the case she just got sentenced in September.
She just got sentenced, but I'm saying the key witness gets gunned down after
she gets sentenced. He just died, right?
He just died, but he just testified. Oh,
because I said 2018. It's because it said 2018.
The murder was the key. Was the trial just happened?
Right, but he was. That's what I said when he testified. I thought it was in 2018.
No, he was killed in 2018. The guy was the brother, but we're talking about two brothers that got killed.
Okay.
So, Botham Jean, he got killed in 2018.
Okay.
This brother just testified. You know what I'm saying? And so, he was. Yeah, there's pictures him answering questions.
But when I also read, and that's the other thing that threw me off. When I read about a woman coming to testify. That was a part of it, and saying that she couldn't keep her silence, so that's why she testified. So I know she must be scared. Yeah, shitless. You know what I'm saying? And that's really
it's
because the fact that she only got 10 years in and of itself was a trip because
I was tripping, sorry to but I was tripping because I was like, okay, she got murder, and they could have got.
At first, I thought it was manslaughter. So when I read 10 years, I was like, see, they knew what they was doing, but I wasn't cool with it. But I understood via the loophole. But then when I found out that she was indicted on murder as well, and
it wasn't as well. It was straight murder
or murder, and I'm like, so the case is moved to murder, and you still only got 10 years. Like you fit the letter of the law of murder. They tried you for murder. You got convicted of murder, and you get 10 years. So where's the?
Well, hey, according to the brother, shoot, if it was up to her brother, she wouldn't have got no time.
Cool, but he not here to decide that.
Yeah, but I'm just like, what is that about?
And there's been plenty crimes that happen. I know people in jail right now that are in jail behind retaliation in the state of mind of being crazy. Like it was the retaliation. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get as much. Like if somebody killed your brother and you was there, witnessed it, and you ran right behind them and shot back and killed them. But
that's like a manslaughter thing.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They don't give you as many as, whatever because of the situation. But what I was thinking was like, well, first off, what happened to the mandatory minimum of fitting a description? Like, how doesn't that apply to her in this case or anybody? You know what I'm saying? Because when you flock or whatever, like New York, you get caught with a gun, it's a mandatory 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like anything after that.
Well, no, that's also like. Depending on if it's a loaded gun,
but right,
how many bullets.
But we're just talking about a gun that ain't registered, that you shouldn't have. Yeah. Mandatory 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Well, this carried a mandatory of, I want to say life. You know what I'm saying? Without parole, or life with or without parole. Whatever the case may be, and then you get 10 years. All the while, the lady gets 20 years for shooting off warning shots in the club.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? What was the other one? The lady.
Even though that is kind of weird. I mean, not to say.
Not in the club, but.
I mean, yeah, but what I'm saying is I'm not saying that is like. The only thing I will say is that people are kind of just saying like, when you're on trial in a sense, and you're on trial for something like that, like shooting in a public area. You could say that it's warning shots, and I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying
she was getting beat.
Yeah,
the warning shots were to get her husband away from.
Yeah, but just hear me out. Just to say like, look, for instance, if I shoot and I miss, for example, you could say it was attempted murder, or I could say it was a warning shot. You get what I'm
she
saying?
shot in the air.
But I don't. I'm saying I personally. I'm just saying me personally. I don't know the facts. I wasn't there, and that's just what we just know the headline of the.
No. I'm saying I read it. That's what, well, at least based on what I read.
Providing
that is true. Yeah. The shots were shot in the air.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And if there's witnesses and people that could collaborate, but I'm just saying if I had a legal defense team, I did something that I shouldn't have been doing, I'm going to say the story the best way that could come out.
What about the other one? Now, what about the other one? With with the kids that lied, the parents that paid, the actors that paid for their kids to get in USC, and Stanford, right?
Yeah.
She got sentenced to a year.
No, she got 2 weeks.
Because she got sentenced to a year, but she only did. She
didn't get sentenced to a year.
Her sentence was a year long. She's not going to do that in jail out here.
No, she only got 2 weeks, bro.
She's only going to get 2 weeks. That's what I'm telling you. But
no, she's already.
So that means she didn't go to jail. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you get 2 weeks out here, that's 2 hours. Not even 2 hours, really. You know what I'm saying? 30 days get you 3 days in jail. You know what I'm saying? So if you get 2 weeks, you're not really. That's why people don't go to jail for most. You'll process you in, and then you won't even make it. You know what I'm saying? In the situation. But anyway, so whatever, 2 weeks. Let's just say 2 weeks. This is gonna make it even more egregious. Yeah. So she gets 2 weeks for paying or whatever, however much she did. But the black lady gets 20 years for using somebody's address.
Yeah.
That she knows. You know what I'm saying? So they're doing the same thing, except for one's not paying, and the other one's using and somebody's address that she knows.
And something else that's crazy I just saw is Trump. Shout out to Trump. That's your president, right?
Ooh, you said shout out.
I know.
That's on record.
Nah, I said this guy has the uncanny ability to just make headlines. He's a professional at it. Like, he's the best probably person that knows how to just troll. He's more of a troll than Tekashi 6ix9ine. Literally. It's like him.
I think they're equal.
They're probably like both, right? Well, he's probably more because he's out and free. But let me see. He says Trump says he's a troll. He's a troll. What do you think about him telling on everybody?
Honestly, with his situation, I mean, I ain't mad at him. You know what I'm saying?
But why? Because he ain't telling on you?
No.
So you say I ain't mad at him?
No. Look, for the record, if I go in on some stuff with the homie and I do something and we get caught, I'm going to take my time, and it is what it is. In his case, what he paid for was an image, right? Now, the stuff that y'all start doing that ain't got that goes beyond me having an image. All right, so y'all committing crimes that ain't got nothing to do with me. You trying to kidnap me. You plotting to kill me. And what I was paying you for was to have an image, and now you start extorting me. So you're not my day one.
Sleeping with my girl.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, right. You're not my day one. So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm supposed to take a big L for y'all?
Yeah, I always say my quote is, if you can't do the time, then don't do the crime. That's always been my quote. And I feel like personally, there's a debate, you know what I'm saying, to say that was he like just a doggone like plant in the first place? Was he like an industry plant? You know what I'm saying? There's a debate.
Of course.
Well, yeah. I mean, you say of course, but
think about where he's at right now. If he wasn't, think about how easily it is to manipulate him in hindsight. Think about his interview about where he came from and how they considered him special, retarded, or whatever, or slow learner, or whatever case may be. Deficient in learning of it. Like, he grew up, it was like, he didn't have much. So if he says, you know what, I saw a pattern and I ran with it, well, it's probably not really you. You know what I'm saying? That, I mean, we already know the pattern or whatever, but it's about how far can we go? Can we get somebody to go to, with this MO? And as sure as he turned the 360 and snitch, is as sure as he was ready to go, he turned that 360 to go ham and act like that's who he was. See, and I'm going to tell you what him and Trump got in common as these two trolls. But except for his wasn't real because it was about the record company. See, Trump can say what he wants because he was already filthy rich before he got there. There's no money. There's nothing that really hinges on. Like, as long as he doesn't get impeached and go to jail,
Yeah.
What are you gonna do to him? He's gonna go back to his normal life,
Be a billionaire.
and be a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? So I can say whatever I want, because most of these presidents aren't really made men like that. They gonna get their salary, which is what, 250, whatever it is, 300K. But then
they set for life.
yeah, they set for life.
They got special forces security.
Right, but the money, you still want the tangible money.
No, he has the thing is, you might say we're giving you 250. You write one book, you got $1 million. You go to you ain't paying for a dinner nowhere. But you're rich for the rest of your life.
Here's what I'm saying. He came in this situation. He didn't need no donors for no campaign. That's why he could say what he want. Most people gotta play by the book because they need donors. They need people to pay for this. Your stuff.
He still need people. Trust me.
No. Oh, he do, but he's so arrogant because of his money. He thinks he doesn't and can say what he want. Well, 6ix9ine is the same way. See, you got some money from the record label. You had some backing from some gangs, and you thought you were untouchable because
he technically still is untouchable.
I hear you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it seemed like
But what I'm saying is, as far as it pertains to his career, though, you know what I'm saying? Now that's dead. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's dead. I think he about to have a whole new career.
In what?
In rap.
As what?
As a rapper. I bet you. The thing is
look, people.
The thing is that we learned. The thing is,
you tell me who has snitched like him?
Huh?
Who has snitched like him?
There's been
plenty of people that have snitched.
People that I won't name, but there's people that's in this game that be telling and they be still around. And the thing about what I'll just say is, look, the thing is nowadays. I got something in my eye, damn it. But look, nowadays.
What you gonna do? Go gospel?
No. He's just gonna stay with the same lane that he's been. He might not be super like, oh, I'm this and that, I'm gonna bust you up. But I don't let my nuts swing. He gonna be on some like, yo, I don't know what he gonna be on. But the thing is, he gonna be on. Listen what I'm saying. What I'm saying is look, nowadays. You gotta understand, it's a new generation of kids, a new generation of people that are just like, they truly do not care about all that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look, Jackie and Keith in the building, they made it, but they don't care about all the extra 6ix9ine stuff, like snitching stuff. They just like, they on some like, hey, this guy is somebody that I liked before he went to jail, and now I like him still. You know what I'm saying? I think that he gonna come out and be, it's just like the dude TK or whatever. He's like this nerdy kid with braces, but he's like, Lil Tecca or whatever, right? He's like the most non-gangster kid out, right? He's like I think it's Slim Jesus or whatever, right? So he's like,
that's different though.
But he's like the but he got
his crowd is different.
But his crowd, these kids are playing like Fortnite, and they are like just on the internet,
right?
And they don't care about like the
real. 6ix9ine wasn't, his following wasn't that. It wasn't.
His following is the internet kid. He blew up in Russia first, bro.
No. Here's what I'm saying though. His blow up is based on an image. Yes, the internet, but you're missing my point. His image, you know what I'm saying? That caught fire because of what he was saying. Now, if his image had nothing to do with gang mentality, and he went and snitched, it's cool. But that's in all of his rhymes about how hard he is, what he's doing. You get what I'm saying? He's living other people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Being hard and trying to present that he's hard, and he's doing so now that. He completely, I know people out here snitching. I do music just how you do music. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the difference is most people get to do it behind closed doors and nobody really knows. You know what I'm saying? Some people know, but they can go cut a track with music that they got on their own and ain't nobody really going to convict them. You know what I'm saying? And if you didn't want to mess with him, right, because he was a snitch, but it wasn't public, but then he makes a hit record, but nobody knows he snitched, but you did. You can still go get in on that and it not affect your reputation. Yeah. Now, certain rappers that deal with him is going to affect their reputation. So that's just why I think that's the case.
All right, y'all. Hey, I'm glad whoever tuned in and tapped in. We had a good convo. You're in Detroit. We got the good news. execs in the building, and we gonna wrap this one up. But you know what I'm saying, as always, the marathon continues. You know what I'm saying, and we're gonna keep this thing going. You got anything to close us out with?
I don't. Nothing too in particular, man. Just that, loyalty never leaves, honesty never lies. You know what I'm saying? Those are two things that'll never really die. And if you keep those things with you, man, you good for life. That's that.
Hey, appreciate you, man. And there it is.
Yee.